Okay, most importantly, for today's episode, we are actually going to call it our first AI generated digest. I'm going with our very first AI generated podcast episode. And honestly, you guys, give me your 100% honest feedback if this is completely unbearable and unlistenable. I honestly want to know. So hit me in the comments if that's the case. What's up, everybody? First and foremost, I have to disclose that this is an AI version of Alex delivering today's daily digest episode. You can call me AI Alex, and on the AI Marketing Navigator, we will always disclose, and I will always disclose, when I am participating or giving you information. Now that that's out of the way, let's dive into our daily digest episode.
Welcome to the AI Marketing Navigator, where we simplify AI marketing to keep you ahead of the curve. Brought to you by Digital Pop, delivering AI marketing automation so your small business thrives. Here's your host, Alex Carlson.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AI Marketing Navigator. This is your daily compass in the ever-evolving world of AI marketing. Okay, Navigators, coming at you today with a daily digest that has a bunch of AI news that I think is, if not directly marketing related, at least worthy of making all AI users aware of. And one little tail end update that I think is just way too fun to not include. And I think in the end, we can relate back to marketing as we always do anyway. Also, I just want to sneak in here once again the announcement from earlier today on the scaling back of our publishing schedule from daily to semi-regular is what I'm calling it. Check out that video for more details on that. But in case this one actually goes viral, quote unquote, or relatively, at least for our channel, and more people see this, I want to get that announcement out there once more. Okay, most importantly, for today's episode, we are actually going to call it our first AI generated digest. I'm going with our very first AI generated podcast episode using a script that is completely dictated by me, which is how we usually write our scripts here. Also using a clone of myself and a professional voice clone of my voice. So in an upcoming episode, we are actually going to break down exactly how we do this, the entire workflow for doing this, even though it's relatively simple. And if you've listened to our previous episodes on the show, you could probably put it together and guess at the tools that we use and try it yourself by then. And honestly, you guys, give me your 100% honest feedback if this is completely unbearable and unlistenable. I honestly want to know. So hit me in the comments if that's the case. If it is still of value, even though it is generated by AI, please let me know that as well. I am genuinely curious to know if this is something that could or should at least continue for maybe part of our episodes or in a different format for a different type of content. Maybe just the digest episodes where we touch on AI news and smaller bits of content. So please, genuinely, let me know. So with that said, I am going to allow AI Alex to go ahead and take it away for our first AI generated daily digest. What's up, everybody? First and foremost, I have to disclose that this is an AI version of Alex delivering today's daily digest episode. You can call me AI Alex, and on the AI Marketing Navigator, we will always disclose, and I will always disclose, when I am participating or giving you information. Now that that's out of the way, let's dive into our daily digest episode. We are going to be talking about 3 updates in the world of AI, 2 of which are not exactly marketing related. The first of those is something that widely affects the field of AI and those of us using it. The fact that we have a new model architecture in the AI world to discuss. A continuous thought machine, CTM architecture from Sakana AI. And the second of those, just way too fun to ignore. You'll see what I mean. But the other update that we'll talk about is very much AI focused, especially for any of you navigators out there who are using Figma as a design tool. We are not using Figma here at the AI Marketing Navigator, so this will not be a demo episode of these Figma features and more of a summary of them, just making sure you are aware. First up, the news from Sakana AI. This is a new model architecture called a continuous thought machine, CTM. This architecture is very much meant to mimic a neural network, the way a brain works. Essentially, what it does is it embeds something called neuron timing into its reasoning process, which is what kind of makes it different from standard AIs that use a reasoning process that we're aware of. A typical LLM is using a transformer architecture, which we've talked about, to process one text token at a time, and are being guided by chain of thought type prompts, like step-by-step prompts that build out the chain of thought reasoning. Any reasoning is kind of a property of how it's prompted and the way that it is trained to process those prompts. Each artificial neuron in this CTM has its own internal clock. It uses this to synchronize its thoughts in the way that a human would kind of approach its thoughts. This is all coming from Sakana AI, linked in the show notes. This is meant to kind of try and mimic the timing of our neurons in the brain. The CTM iterates in a clock cycle. In each cycle, the model is going to predict the next layer. So to me, this rings very much like an LLM predicting the next word. We've also talked about in just a recent episode the multi-layered nature of, I believe it was a voice model, but this layering is a theme for sure. For instance, in a task where a CTM is taking in an image, the model will essentially look around the image multiple times, taking multiple passes, much like a human brain would. Really, what this breaks down to is this step-by-step incremental reasoning that many of these models, these reasoning models that we use right now, are seeking to employ. Check out the links in the show notes for exactly the performance and benchmarks, but CTMs are showing pretty impressive results while performing more traditional architecture, unstructured reasoning tasks. Another day, another new model architecture hits the AI world. Okay, next up, and this one is for all you Figma using navigators out there, we have all the announcements for AI Slam features at the Figma Config 2025 conference. First one would be an AI prompt to code called Figma Make. Basically, it's going to let designers take natural language prompts, natural language instructions, apply them to their static working designs, and build prototypes using those prompts. An example given here from Figma is copying pasting a static mockup into Figma Make. So taking a mockup that you've built that is static and then saying, animate this button on click. And without having to produce the interactive code or build that out, it's going to do it for you. So essentially text to code, prompt to code is what they call it. Next, you have Figma Buzz, and this one may be worthy of us hopping into Figma, creating an account, and checking it out because it's specifically for marketing and brand teams to help them create on-brand graphics at scale. I mean, come on. What is more AI marketing navigator than that? Apparently, there's a library of templates, a design interface that's going to allow you to crank out these scaled posts, these scaled designs. Sounds very much like Canva, so it looks like Figma is trying to creep in on Canva here with Figma Buzz. And you, of course, will have AI generation capabilities if you have the right access here, there. Then you have enhanced AI features being rolled out across features like Figma Design and FigJam, like using advanced image generation and editing powered by AI in Figma Design and FigJam, which is Figma's collaborative whiteboard feature. You now have smart AI helpers to, for instance, help you brainstorm content ideas. And then lastly, you have a new website builder, another AI website builder. We've talked about many on this show before, but this one from Figma, so very worthy of attention, in Figma Sites. On Figma Sites, you can now use Figma Makes AI prompts to build your website into your static design, as I understand it. For example, you build out your website, and this is the example again given by Figma on a slideshow, and you could say or instruct Make, as they put it, to make this slideshow autoplay, and boom, the AI will do that for you. It's going to generate that animation code. So tons of AI goodness from Figma, very worthy of your attention if you are a Figma using navigator. Okay, and lastly, the definitely not marketing-based announcement. Although now that my marketing brain is churning on the subject, perhaps if this gets commercialized to any extent where we all have access to it, LegoGPT, I should probably stop burying the lead. LegoGPT is an AI model that comes from the Carnegie Mellon University Generative Intelligence Lab, and it turns natural language text prompts into buildable Lego instructions. I mean, basically, it's an imagination to Lego blueprint. The dream of every child, and let's be honest, the dream of any of us adults who are using Legos or building Legos. And I'm not too ashamed to admit that that includes those of us here at the AI Marketing Navigator. I don't think it's super advanced. For instance, you take a prompt like a small red house with a blue roof, and it's going to give you that step-by-step sequence. Maybe if this comes available to the masses, you could actually test some branded Lego constructions, and that is how we're going to connect this one to marketing. Imagine a branded Lego of your business's headquarters. I'm sure you could probably organize something like that with Lego right now if they don't already have some sort of service like that in the works. Anyway, when I heard that you could prompt a Lego architecture design, had to throw that into an episode. Apparently, it is being open released at some point, so we should hopefully be able to see something like this in the near future. And it'll just be yet another practical and very fun AI use case to help drive adoption by the masses. Can't wait to build a Lego version of our digital pop home office / recording studio here. That does it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the show or found it useful in any way, please do me a favor and follow on Spotify or subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. A review on top of that would be even more appreciated, by far the most helpful thing you can do for the show. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you get notified when our next episode drops. Until then, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay curious, stay consistent, and keep navigating forward. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the AI Marketing Navigator. Ready to simplify your own marketing automation? Digital Pop helps make it happen so your small business can scale your marketing fast. Learn more at thedigitalpop.com.